On this edition of Locked On Astros, I interview Grae Kessinger of the Sugarland Space Cowboys. Find out all about this prospect that's having a really good season, the best season of his young career.
Alvarez hits a high drive center field. Vierling's back. This game is turned upside down. There's the runner. Fly ball down the right field line. Tucker comes on. Kyle Tucker. This time they finish the job.
Hello and welcome to Locked On Astros, your daily Astros podcast. Here are your hosts, Eric the Man Huysman and Brett Htown Wheelhouse Chancey.
Hey guys, welcome to a special edition of Locked On Astros. I'm your host, Htown Wheelhouse, with a special prospect edition where I got to go to Sugarland and interview Grae Kessinger of the Sugarland Space Cowboys. I'm going to show you all a little bit of his numbers here, what he's been doing the last few seasons, how he's grown. And I get to ask him some, I guess, kind of hot seat questions, some fun questions we have with him. But today's episode, this bonus episode, is brought to you by Game Time. Game Time is the place to get all your tickets same day as the game. I mean, walking up to the stadium, walking up to the theater, wherever you go, to the comedy show and grab your tickets. They got the lowest prices basically online, and you can check them out. Use the promo code Locked On MLB for $20 off. So thank you for tuning in. Thank you for making your first listen every single day, and thank you for being an everydayer. So I want to get into this. Grae Kessinger, great kid. Let me just show you his profile before I get too deep into this and talk about a little bit about his background. But Grae is out of Oxford, Mississippi. He went to Ole Miss. He was a second-round pick by the Astros, pick number 27. Actually, before that, 4 years before that, he was actually drafted out of high school, decided to go to college. He had a successful career there. And so he has been active with them since 2019. And he came in to the Astros organization. And, you know, he kind of had a slow start. But one of the things I want to talk to y'all about is he actually comes from a line of ball players. Don Kessinger actually played for the White Sox, the Cardinals, and the Cubs, his grandfather, and he debuted on September 7th, 1964. Also, Grae's father, who went to Ole Miss as well, was a 36th-round pick out of Ole Miss and played professional baseball, Keith Kessinger. So Grae he's basically a third-generation pro baseball player. So this is something that is in his genes. This is something that he grew up around. So kids like this tend to, have success. It doesn't always pan out, but I'm going to show you his numbers here on this chart about his improvement and how he's improved. And when I interview him, it's about a 10-minute interview where we talk about his improvement, how he got to this point. But let's look at this. And if you're listening to this, I'll read through these. In short season A-ball, he actually kind of started off a little hot. He had a 268 average. He had a slash line of 333, 366, 699. Not terrible, but not terrible, not great, but pretty good. He came in with he only played 11 games, obviously short season. That was Tri-City, and he had 11 hits. He didn't have any home runs. Then the next season, he goes to A-ball, Quad Cities, where he hit 224. He collected 38 hits, 6 doubles, 2 home runs, 17 RBI. He did have 26 walks. Slash line a little bit less, a little bit lower, 333, 294, 627. Those are all on base, slugging, and OPS. And then things didn't start looking up when he went to Corpus. Now, he went to Corpus. I had heard about his upside, so he was hitting 210. He got 718 plate appearances, 151 hits, 25 home runs. That's really where he started turning heads. And he pretty much upped his OP. Well, he upped his slugging percentage from the previous year. So his on-base percentage was 311, 351, 662. And the reason why I talk about this and slow walk us up to AAA, because this year he's having a really good year. 268 batting average. He already has 50 hits in 51 games played. He has 6 home runs, 31 RBI, 33 walks. He does have 42 strikeouts, but look, his on-base percentage is the highest it's been, 399, nearing 400, slugging percentage 446, and his OPS of 845. And so I sit down with him. Well, not sit down. We're actually standing when we do the interview, but we're doing the interview on the field. You'll hear some background noise in the stadium, some music playing, but I got the audio the best I could. I think you guys will enjoy hearing from Grae Kessinger. So take a listen. I hope you enjoy, and thanks for tuning in to Locked On Astros. Before I go into that, let me just give you the official word that Game Time is the official sports ticket partner of the Locked On Network. Go to your app store and get the Game Time app today. Use the promo code Locked On MLB for $20 off of your first purchase. It doesn't have to be weeks in advance. It can be the day of. If you're watching this and there's an Astros game, you haven't bought tickets, drive to the stadium, park, pull out the Game Time app, get a ticket. If you find a ticket the same price, same row same row, same section, then you already bought it at a lower price on a different site, let Game Time know and they'll refund you 110% the difference. So you can go to more Astros games or more theater events or comedy clubs or whatever you want to do. So Game Time has the lowest prices guaranteed. It is hassle-free, 2 clicks and you're there. So check out Game Time today. So thank y'all for tuning in, and I hope y'all enjoy my interview with Grae Kessinger, and we will have more interviews like this to come from Sugar Land, from Constellation Field, the home of the AAA affiliate of the Houston Astros. I'm Htown Wheelhouse. Enjoy. Hey guys, Htown Wheelhouse here with Locked On Astros, and I'm here with Grae Kessinger. Grae Kessinger is one of the Astros prospects, third base prospect, and when you look into this guy, you look at where he was drafted. Even before you were drafted in the second round, you were drafted a few years before that in the amateur draft. Decided to go to Ole Miss, went to Ole Miss, second round pick of the Astros. What's your time been like with the Houston Astros organization?
Yeah, I think from going to Ole Miss to getting drafted, playing pro ball is way different than playing college baseball. It's just there's a lot of learning curves. You're playing every day, not a lot of time to learn or regroup from the day before. You're right back into the next day, and I think Astros do a good job of just helping you along with that process, getting you better every day, and here we are, and I feel like I'm in a way better place than I was a few years ago.
No, yeah, definitely. Now, I was looking at your stat line. The first couple years, it seemed at the plate struggling a little bit. You did have some power numbers, but this year, your average has jumped. Your OPS, your on-base percentage, your slugging percentage. What is it that you did differently with your swing to change? I mean, because, man, you're productive right now.
Yeah. Over the course of me being in pro ball, each year I've kind of been working on something and trying to clean up the swing and, get stronger, and, all those things kind of go into hitting. I'd say the biggest thing, besides like cleaning up some mechanical stuff, is I've been able to repeat the moves I want to repeat, and that allows me to just have a game plan in the box and go compete. There's no trying to, I need to feel this in my swing, or I need to get this position, or all that's kind of like been more consistent. So like I said, it's all about just competing and having success at the plate, and I think that's honestly maybe the biggest difference. Okay, yeah, and so I mean, I love it. I mean, in recent games, you've been hitting like it just feels different when you're in the box, when you're making contact, doesn't it? Versus struggling and straining and trying to get that average up, and because I know in Corpus, a lot of guys talk about. We've talked to different guys. Former Astros prospect Josh Rojas, who's in the major leagues. He said when he went to Corpus, he tried to totally change his swing, and he realized he couldn't pull it. Down there you got to go with the wind. Here in Sugar Land, who's really been instrumental in helping you get focused on the right thing? And not to say that none of the coaches, that I don't want you to pick your favorites, but who maybe is a marker point for you to say this guy really helped me unlock some things in my swing? Yeah, I'd say everyone. everyone's helped me, different ways, from the strength staff to, to all the hitting coaches. But in the last couple of years, Aaron Westlake, is here now. He's kind of been the most recent kind of changes and kind of progression. He's really worked with me a lot about, approach-based stuff. And like I said, it's not all about the swing. A lot of it's about your mindset, how to compete when you're in the box, your game plan, and sticking with that game plan. And, there's some people that don't have the best swings but have a lot of success in the big leagues, and that's because, they have a game plan that they trust and they can repeat, and they stick with that. And I think that's why I've been able to control the zone really well, get on time for my pitches and my zones, and I think that's, the key to moving forward and keeping having more and more success is just getting your plan, sticking with your plan, and then trusting that the swing is going to take care of itself.
Now, I know in college you were listed as a shortstop, your first team All-SEC, third team All-American. I mean, those are some high praises. That's a big baseball school, it's like SEC. We're kind of getting used to it because it seems like all the Texas schools are trying to get on that train, right? But I noticed this year you've only played one game at first, but you played it second, you played it short, you played it third. Do you have a preference, or are you literally, coach, where you got me, that's where I'm going?
Yeah, growing up, I really only played shortstop. And, not until I got to pro ball did I kind of start moving around the infield. But no, get me on the field, get me in the lineup. I want to be out there, I want to contribute, and I want to play baseball, and I want to play baseball in the big leagues a long time. So whatever opportunity that is, whatever position, whatever I need to do, that's where my mindset is. Just play ball.
Now, the inevitable question that a lot of fans want to know, you're in AAA, right? You're like one step. Like, we could literally get in the car and go 25 minutes to Minute Maid Park. So with that being every player's goal in mind in Minute Maid Park, how do you keep that in focus but also stay within yourself here so that you don't think about the things that you don't control?
Right. No, I think exactly what you said. It is very cliche, control what you can control. But that is, in this sport, out of any sport, that is all you can do. And that is, like the things I'm just saying, my plan, my approach, my work every day, taking care of my body, and all of those things. And if you just stay focused on each pitch, it really does, work out in the long run. I think that's something that years past, when you scuffle a little bit or a couple bad games, and it's like, let's try to, rewrite what we're doing. There's no reason for that. We're all really good. And it's just, small things here and there that could be even your body doesn't feel good that day and it made you have a different swing that day. And understanding that is just, the maturity I think that I have, and it's just allowed me to stay in the moment and play really well every day. And that's how you, just don't worry about everything else. Right. You just stay in your lane.
So you've recently had some big names down here, some big crowds.
Yeah.
Jose Altuve, when Lance McCullers comes here. What is it like for guys like yourself? You haven't yet made that jump to the next level, but you have the guys from the big club and the legends, like Jose Altuve. We call him the GOAT in Houston. What's it like? Do they just kind of fit in like regular guys, or is there this sort of like they're here,
Well, of course, like when those guys, walk in the locker, there's a presence about them. And the most impressive thing is the way they handle their business. No matter what field they're at, what level, whatever they're doing, they come in, they go to work. They know exactly what they want to do. They know how to prep. They prep the same no matter where we are. When Brantley was with us in Albuquerque, that's on the road, sure, not the facilities that maybe, get on the road in the big leagues, but he's still doing his prep work. He's still doing his same routine. And I think, when Jose came here, all those things, you just watch how they go about their business, and just all right, that's why they're, where they're at, just because they do everything the right way, and they're just laser focused when they're doing their work, and that's the coolest part to see.
And I think that's really a testament to this ball club, literally, because going back to interviewing the new Corpus Christi's head coach when he was at Fayetteville and coached on, and Joey Luperfido, Correa, Perez, yourself, Dubin, all these guys, you'll all said the same thing. There is something about this organization where they build you guys up, they come in and they give you a ton of data, and it's almost like drinking through a fire hose. What was it like when you started really looking into the data? Was that a process where they just had to help you say, look, you have to use all of it, but we need to find the things that really make you better?
No, for sure. There's a process because there is so much data out there, and all of it, can be used for good. But if you go too far with it, you can get in your own head and I can't really do this, or I'm better at this, and maybe whatever, you get in your head. And I think that's it's good to know what you're good at and what you're not good at. But at the end of the day, like, we're all ball players. Like, you got to go compete. You got to, like I said, make a plan. But then at the end of the day, like, just have confidence in yourself. Just go play the game. And, I think for me personally, like, one thing that I've done last time this year is like watch a lot of video. So I watch video because it's good to know what you're doing. But if I go 3 for 3 one day and then 0 for 3 the next day, I don't need to just go watch my video and break down and compare the 2 days back to back. There's too many factors that go into it. The pitcher, maybe I wasn't seeing the ball, maybe there's a shadow. Now, if there's a stretch of games, all right, let's go watch a video, see what's going on. But I'm not a guy that needs to watch I used to watch every day and then just cloud in the head. Now it's a little freedom just to, hey, let's just go play. And then when the video and all the data's there when you need it to kind of, get you back in line.
Okay, one kind of fun question for the club. You've been with the club for a little bit. Who's the one guy when you go on the road, you got to keep your eye out for? Like, you got to always look and make sure he's not trying, he's not up to something. You got any guys that are pranksters? You got any guys that are,
Jimmy Endersby is always kind of on my radar. Half the reason I just like picking on him and the other half is always up to something.
Now, is Jimmy's golf game up to par? Because he's told me he's a good golfer.
Jimmy's a good golfer. Jimmy, last time we played, I did beat him, but I hadn't played him and it's been about a year, so we need to get back out there.
Well, I look forward to having Jimmy back on, and I'll tell him that we get a little grudge match. Maybe we can host you guys at a golf course
There we
sometime.
go. That's what we need to see.
But hey, guys, I'm Htown Wheelhouse with Locked On Astros. Half of Locked On Astros, Eric the Man Huysman isn't here, but I'm here with my guy Grae Kessinger. Thank you so much for your time, and I really hope that young ball players watching this get something out of it. And as I was watching practice earlier, I was talking to one of the coaches, and I said little leaguers forget how important taking fly balls is, how important practice is. You guys practice just like everybody else. Life's not a video game, right?
Absolutely not. Every day you got to go to work and get better at something.
All right, well, hey, thank you so much. We are your team every day. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Check us out. And go give Grae Kessinger a follow. Are you on any social media anywhere?
I am. Twitter, Instagram. Those are the two.
So look them up, follow them, check them out. Thank you, Grae. Y'all have a good one. As always, go Space Cowboys.
Let's go.
Appreciate it. All right, everybody. I'm here with Grae Kessinger, Sugarland Space Cowboy, Astros prospect. Grae, thanks for coming on Locked On Astros. Appreciate you.
Absolutely.
All right, so I got a few quick hit questions to ask you to see where you stand on some things. If someone were in downtown Houston and they saw you walking down the street, would you be wearing Hey Dudes or Crocs?
Crocs.
Crocs. All right, he is a Crocs man. Now, guys, he is a Mississippi kid, so I got to ask him some Mississippi questions. What is better? Who has better sweet tea, Mississippi or the state of Texas?
We gotta go Mississippi.
All right, so
no
Mississippi.
offense to anybody from Texas.
That's right. It's all good. So tell me, who's the bigger rival, Ole Miss and Mississippi State, or Ole Miss and LSU?
Ole Miss, Mississippi State. Just you grow up with too many Mississippi State fans in Mississippi to not be number one on that list.
So were there people in your family that when you went to Ole Miss, they were like, "Why didn't you go to State?"
No, everyone was all on board for the Ole Miss.
Okay, good deal, good deal. Now, one last question. Well, actually, two more. Hip hop or country?
Hip hop guy.
All right, I like it. I like it. Texas pecan pie or Mississippi mud pie?
We'll go Mississippi mud pie.
Awesome.